What's going on, everybody? We are here with Mastercrafted 40K. It is just me and Phil for this one. We just saw the Adepticon previews last night, and we just wanted to kind of share our thoughts, talk through what they kind of previewed, what we think of the units, and kind of give some first takes about what's on the way in Warhammer. Phil, how you doing today?
You know what? Coming from Italy, I'm great. I got some good pizza. I got some good wine. I had some good beer. But you know what? 40K, for some reason, always drags me back. So even though I'm here, I couldn't turn down the opportunity to come chat with you, Lane, about some 40K. I'm super excited. Now, initially, overall, what grade would you give this Adepticon release?
Oh man, I have seen a lot of love. I've seen a lot of hate, both coming out of 5 stars. I think I'd still give it I'd still give it like a 4. I think there's a lot of really good things. I think a lot of what people are upset about is the fact that there wasn't more revealed. I do think there's more on the way for those who are kind of freaking out that, like World Eaters only had one thing previewed, but like there's got to be more coming, and I think it's going to be awesome. And what is on the way should be sick. The codexes look great, and let's dive right in. All right. Going just through the community page here, we're just going to kind of breeze through some of these topics. Looking at the new World Eater model, what do you think, Phil? What's your reaction to the new leader?
I mean, he looks like a juiced up Exalted 8-bound. He's got a big old chainsaw arm, and he is perfectly on brand for World Eaters. Like, he looks sick. That's a lot of skulls. He fits the theme for sure. I've seen a couple images, him compared to the Exalted 8-bound. He is relatively close to the same size. The only thing is, like, on the board, am I going to be able to distinguish him quickly? And, with the incredible painters that we got out there, I'm sure they'll devise some way to make sure he stands out and achieves his appropriate glory, because that is a highly detailed model. That's got a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah, really love what they've done with it. The arm that is now a blade, it's supposed to be a bloodthirster within this guy. The Slaughterbound is what he is called. I think he is going to be ripping and tearing across the board. I'm super excited to see, what kind of melee profiles they bring with him. And his ability to bring back other 8-bound that he's attached to sounds like a problem.
That is a huge problem. That is the first time we've seen that in like World Eaters in terms of bringing back models, and it's always a strong capability, especially in an army like with how expensive Exalted 8-bound are, and they are relatively tough. So like if it's in a unit of 6 Exalted 8-bound and he can bring one of them back, that is a huge boon for them.
Yeah, super excited to see what else the Codex has on the way. Here's a quick look at the regular Codex that they will be dropping. We will get to all the fancy, super cool ones that they have a little later on. Up next is the Death Guard. I know you yourself said you are super excited about this model. What is he called? Do you remember?
I actually don't remember his actual name. What's his actual name?
I want to say he was the Lord of Poxes. Yes, Lord of Poxes.
Lord of Poxes. Yeah. So this model is so sick. I can't wait to paint it. Mainly because that giant sword that he's got like hanging on the back of his backpack is so cool. For those that don't know, Death Guard is one of my main factions. I run them competitively. I ran them competitively almost all last season. This season, I've been running exclusively pretty much Genestealer Cult, either Outrider or Outlander or Final Day. But these guys are up in contention for, depending on how good the Codex is, I might switch to them because I love my Death Guard army. It is painted in like the pallid hand, so like very cream colored OG Death Guard style. And I can't wait to get this guy mixed in. And honestly, if I can get some cool demon rules, kind of like the Emperor's Children got, I'd be pretty happy with that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this model. It's sick.
Yeah, definitely going to be some cool paint schemes. Hopefully some cool rules. That sword looks like it is going to slap if it gets to you. So a very, very cool model for sure. Moving along, keeping the chaos flowing. We got the new Automata models that are going to be running across the T-Suns. Yeah. How you feel about these?
You know what? Michael Mann, if you haven't watched this video, Michael Mann and myself and Lane were talking about these models because we think they're relatively interesting, right? Like, not just for what they do, but their rule set is really cool. Just the fact that we've gotten a preview that they could Overwatch for free. As for those that hopefully remember, because it does induce a little bit of PTSD for me, like the amount of Psychic Flamers and what Thousand Suns has done to me in the past, these guys having free Overwatch, and I assume they'll probably have access to Psychic Flamers if I was a betting man. that might cause some issues. Now, are they going to be treated like walkers? Are they going to have breachable? Are they going to be able to go through walls? Is their movement going to be 5 inches? Are they going to have access to movement shenanigans? Well, it's Thousand Suns. They always got movement shenanigans. So this can be one of those units that people are running like if you can take bricks of 6 of them, which I kind of expect. That's kind of how I'm picturing them in that like Terminator-esque, Sacrosanct-esque like band. If you could take a unit of 6, maybe they could be led by like a Rubric Sorcerer or something like that, something cool, and then like teleport about around the board. That sounds terrifying, and these guys look sick.
Yeah, very, very cool. I'm excited to see how people paint these up as well. It's chaos, got a lot of trim on them. I don't know if they quite are done justice in some of these photos, but these Secretary robots, I think are going to be a nice addition to the Codex for sure. Yeah, some more shots, some more options, Hellfire missiles, heavy flamers. It's all going to be good. The Thousand Suns Codex, and then last but not least, they have some of the previews of what the pre-order boxes are going to look like for the Death Guard and World Eaters. They look like they're going to be sick. They're going to come with these extra little quarter circle pieces that are all magnetized. If you collect all 4 of the Chaos God things and their pre-order boxes, you're going to have those. It's going to be super sick. Man, I'm excited. I don't even play Chaos. I'm not going to have a single. Well, I got T-Suns. They're shelved, but I might have to get them out, I guess. Maybe so.
Pretty good. You might have to. This might be the first time I've bought a Codex in a while. GW, don't hate me. I just haven't found a reason to buy a Codex in a minute, but these look really, really cool. Like the coins themselves, I'm a little bit of a hoe for. Like you give me the special stuff with the special coins, I might have to buy it. You give me some cool artwork that I can like display and looks good, I would pick that up as well. I just want to have something that I can use in game and I think is unique. So I don't necessarily use data cards. It's not my thing. I don't like them personally, but I get how they're a tool for some players. But these are really, really, really cool.
Yeah, a lot of cool things. The boxes that they come in, even just the cracks and everything as they pull apart, super, super cool. A lot of craftsmanship, and actually worth maybe picking up for sure. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. We got the new Space Wolf release that they just previewed, and there is a ton that's coming with it. They got the new box, and it's gonna have the new the gray why am I blanking?
Gray Hunters.
Gray Hunters. Yeah, Gray Hunters, the
Yep.
Blood Claws. We'll start with the Blood Claws. They're right up here. Man, those look like much better models than what a lot of Space Wolves are currently running, I think.
Yeah. A couple people I was reading, over Reddit and a couple of our Discords, and people were saying there's not enough detail on these. I will remind you that these are supposed to be like Blood Claws in the lore, supposed to be like you're brand new to the pack. They haven't earned a lot. They haven't done a lot. They don't necessarily have a whole bunch of detail, but you, as a modeler and a painter, could definitely add some more. I don't necessarily need a lot in the Blood Claws. I just want them to look like feral. And these guys with like all the unhelmed stuff, they do look feral, which I think definitely matches thematically for what they're trying to do.
Yeah. I think people are gonna have some great extra bits that they're throwing on. You're always still gonna be able to find things to put on your models and just take them to that little bit extra if that's really what you're looking for, and really start to make them look like their older version. The Gray Hunters who've been around a little bit longer. And these look sick. Big fan of the unhelmeted version here.
Yeah,
it looks good.
I will say, did you see the rules for this? So these are going to be, they're going to have a 7-inch movement, and they're going to be OC3.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be very spicy. I think you're going to see a lot of them. The fact that you have a battle line unit that has that as their rule set is very nice, and the Blood Claws even as well, being basically just assault intercessors who have a 7-inch move. Ain't gonna complain for an extra inch, and still have the rerolls on objectives. Great, good. Yeah, it's all good. Then you have the Wolf Guard head takers. Just a little bit of that termy action, Still get some new storm shields to look at as we come across here. Oof, that guy looks scary with the eye patch. I think you got to get one, Phil. I think you need an eye patch just to look a little meaner at the table.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, super sick models. I think these are gonna be What was the rule for these, Phil? Do you remember?
I don't. I want to say they get benefits against character model units, but I have to look it up. But we are purely on
Yeah.
like
Either way,
I think Space Wolves as a whole, they're going to get this range refresh, and I think they stand a very good chance of being competitive.
yeah, I think they're gonna be doing well. Some extra options on some of these cheaper, good trading melee units, I think is gonna bode very well for them. If they also happen to preview an updated Bjorn or maybe a Russ, who knows? That might also add a little bit more spice and flavor back into the codex. I know people are a little worried about how many units are supposed to be getting cut as the codex comes out, but I think they're still going to have plenty of tools to use for sure. And then last but not
I
least,
definitely
the
get the fears
Wolfguard
there,
Battle
right? They have
Leader.
a lot of firstborn.
Mhm.
I was going to say they definitely have a lot of units that are in that firstborn category, like their special dreadnoughts, Thunderwolf cavalry are still in that firstborn era. Wolfen are technically in that firstborn, but I don't think you need to change them at all. I think it's perfectly fine leaving those models as is, because I do think aesthetically they look very
Yeah.
good. Yeah, they don't necessarily have access to really cool, unique units, but there is some serious value here. And honestly, one or two more units, and I'd be okay not seeing Thunderwolf Cav. They are an iconic part of the army, but we're okay, right, Lane? We're okay. Thunderwolf Cav. We don't want to see them anymore.
I mean, I'm okay not seeing them anymore. I think GW is going to hear about it if they decide to get rid of them, but I don't mind not seeing them. I haven't generally been bothered too much by Wolf Jail, but that's just me. But I don't. I personally don't think Thunderwolf Cav are really going anywhere. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they'll decide to do something else and give Wolf Priest something to lead because this guy is sick. The trim on this guy, all the bits. This is probably going to be one of the coolest models to paint for any of the hobbyists. So much going on here, man. Sick.
Yeah, the unhelmeted dude, the old guy, like he is awesome looking. He looks like an old school space wolf. That's kind of like iconic. That's what I feel like the Rune Priest can be. But that helmeted version with the cowl over the top, if I'm gonna build him and paint him, that's what he's gonna look like because that one is sick. That helmet is so cool.
Yeah, very very cool. So many cool kits, man. I think this is one of the best things. I think personally, I think the Space Wolf are the thing I'm the most excited for, or at least the most hyped up on. I'm not planning to play it anyway, but the models are just so good that have been released. The Codex preview as well. It's supposed to have 3 detachments, if I remember correctly, as they were going over it in the video. Probably going to see some really cool ways to play, get into your opponent's biscuits, and just mess them up for sure. Then they also had, I'm not seeing it as one of their articles quite yet, but they did have the Grey Knights update, which it looked like, just a little bit of refresher on the kits. It's going to have a new way to build the Grandmaster Dread Knight. A couple extra options with that, which will be good. And then that box also had some strike teams and some other models.
Yeah, I think I like Grey Knights. I've heard some feedback from some players where they wish they had a few more models added to the range. I definitely get that, right? Like we wanted, like Grey Knights, they have a lot of firstborn stuff. They would have preferred to have maybe some Primera stuff mixed in there. But I will say that that army is very, very playable and it is very, very strong right now in terms of the tools that it has. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. A new Dread Knight. Those baby carriers are cool. Yes, they are annoying. Yes, they kill stuff, but I've never not seen them used in Grey Knights. So having another like option for those seems good.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. There's plenty of time still before even some of these other chaos factions come out. As we look at the roadmap for what's ahead, those chaos factions and Space Wolves are what's going to be coming out next. So there's still plenty of time to get some more updated kits that might be coming for the Grey Knights and even the World Eaters and Death Guard and T Suns. All of them have plenty more that are going to be revealed as it gets closer to release date. And I'm super excited to see what they have because I think they're actually going to have a lot more than what they revealed this week, and it's going to be sick.
Lane, what are your guesses for what's on the horizon? What do you think those three are? Because I think I know what they are.
I really hope they come out with some like berserkers on juggernauts as just like a cav unit for the world eaters. I think that's one of the things.
Mm.
Thousand Suns, man, I'm hoping they come out with even more kind of like mechanicum stuff. I think it would be cool to go farther than just this one robot, but I don't know if that's true. I don't think I'm a wishful thinker, I guess, on that one. And then Space Wolves, I really think Russ is coming back, man. I think they've been bringing back the Primarchs. I would be highly surprised if they don't bring him back. But yeah, what about you?
You know what? I would love to see a Rust back because it does feel like we're a little behind the eight ball in terms of like the loyalist factions as a whole. But I don't feel like I need another Primarch in the 40k universe. I definitely feel like I could just use more of a diversity of units and factions. I will say, like on there, that is definitely Salamanders. That is definitely Leagues of Votan, and that last one is Imperial Fists. Is that the Imperial Fist logo?
I mean, I would assume so, right? It has to be on
Tell
the
me if I'm
horizon. Yeah.
wrong. Or is that Crimson Fists? Yeah, it's Imperial Fists.
I feel like, I mean, it's definitely a Space Marine. It's got to be the Imperial Fist, man. There's just no way
It
it's not.
is. Yeah. If they went to Crimson Fist, that would feel kind of bad because they've already done a Primaris character for Imperial Fists, and it would feel like a waste to not give them a little bit more to flesh out. The Yellow Boys could use some love for sure.
I'm just definitely looking forward to those releases. Votan players are definitely looking for a shakeup. It'll be good to have hopefully some more flavor. Hopefully they are going to, probably not until 11th edition, but pivot away from having just an overarching Space Marine setup and go back to a little bit more individualism and not everybody running the core detachments. But we can still be excited for what those books are hopefully bringing. So, yeah.
The one thing that isn't on here that is going to be changing is the mission pack. Mission pack and deployments are changing what is to be expected in the next month or so. So we should be seeing those very, very soon. The only problem is, Lane, you and I have a pretty big teams tournament coming up, and I don't know if this will be out before that teams tournament. So we may end up playing a teams tournament on Pariah Nexus, which would kind of suck, especially when you got a new mission pack out. But I am looking forward to a shakeup because when you have these new mission packs and deployments, it changes the whole game. Like you have to prepare differently, list build differently, you're managing the game differently. So I'm really looking forward to that and seeing how like the game changes and evolves and going forward from there competitively, like what that looks like. Because I guarantee you, we are not the only ones preparing for it in terms of 40k Fight Club. Every team is kind of like scrambling and preparing for what the future meta will hold.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at the latest it's going to be July. I don't know how early a lot of these releases are coming. The only reason I say July is because like that's when like Leviathan started. That's when they switched to Pariah. It's just been a full year.
Yeah.
So part of me is thinking that they might stay with that, but if it comes sooner and we have to, we're scrambling for teams, totally okay with it. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be fun. And yeah, either way, excited to have some new missions to play. Not as excited on the they're not secret missions anymore. They're challenge cards.
Yeah.
I'm curious how those are actually going to factor into the game and how they are played around. But secret missions weren't something that a lot of people were doing anyway, so you might as well shake it up and try something else. So should be fun.
Yeah. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah. Any last thoughts we got here, Phil, before we let this great audience go? I think we've covered pretty much all of the major stuff for Warhammer 40k that is dropped. There was a kill team that's going to have some Raveners that people can be excited about, as well as some servitors for the ad mech that we didn't talk about, I guess. But other than that, those are just going to be some fun extra units to throw in and updates on some old kits. So easy peasy.
Yeah, I mean, my Gene Stealer cult are gonna pick up those AdMech guys and use them as conversions because I have a few AdMech units in my final day, so they're definitely gonna find their way in there. So I'm looking forward to that. But overall, I would say so for people that like maybe didn't get what they expected out of this Adepticon, or they didn't get the units that they thought they wanted, or anything like that. I'm not going to say be happy with what you got because we spend a lot of time and money and energy supporting GW and playing this game and really like enjoying ourselves. But there was a time where GW did not push out rules the way they did. They didn't push out models the way they did. And we have such a vast community of like conversion and painting and doing all those things that you can definitely find joy and happiness in different parts of the game. while you wait for your nice, cool new minis. Because we all want cool new minis. I get that. We were not always going to be able to get that, but we will do the best with what we got. Because at the end of the day, this is the hobby is incredible. We had a tournament here in Denver that had over 200 players. That was just to show just how great the community is right now and how competitive it is and how much we're enjoying ourselves. So hopefully you find a way to enjoy your hobby while you wait for your next batch of cool minis.
Yeah, I am super excited to see what GW has in store. I think there's going to be more great releases, and everybody just keep excited, play your games, and last but not least, do not forget that victory isn't given, it's forged, and it's forged right here on Mastercrafted. We'll see y'all next time.